Hello dear student, myself Professor V.M. Mahajan, working as a assistant professor in civil engineering department from Sanjoni College of Engineering. We had studied in last lecture this classification of cross section that is mainly divided into four parts. So class 1 is dealing with plastic analysis, class 2nd is compact section, class 3 is semi compact, and fourth one is class 4, that is slender. Now, today we have to learn, that is unit number first, dealing with design connections. As we know that we have seen there are different types of bolts are there, but before that, so we have to understood what is meant by connections. Connection is nothing but it is a steel structure, is an assemblage of different elements which are connected, fastened to one another. Means one plate is connected to another plates, so there is a arrangement is required. That assembly is called as a connections. So that they will act as a together as a single composite unit or member. So it acts as a medium for transfer of force from one media to another, or load or movement from one member to another element or another member. There are different types of connections are there. First type of connection, that is riveted connection. In the previous olden days, riveted connections are commonly used before 10 or 20 years ago. Now, bolted connection and welded connection are commonly used throughout the world. And last type of connection is pin connection. So, you might have seen that in case of trolley and tractor, such kind of pin connection generally used. And last type is combination of above. Bolted connection, which may consist of, or it can be defined as, it is a metal pin with a head at one end and shank threaded at the other end to receive a nut. If you go through the previous slide, in the this figure, this is the hexagonal type of cross section of this bolt, where this is a plain section is there, and whatever this hatching section or portion is denoted by the threaded section. Then steel washers are provided under the bolt as well as nut for a function of to distributing the clamping pressure of the bolted member and to prevent threaded portion of the bolt from the bearing on the connected pieces. So these are the bolted connections. Now coming to next point, so what are the different types of bolted connection? So various classifications are there based on the first force transfer is categorized into three types, that is A, concentric connections. Concentric is nothing but the load which passes through the center of gravity, that is CG. B, that is second type of bolted connection on the basis of force transfer, is eccentric type of connection. Eccentric is nothing but load away from the center of gravity. Means here the load is not passing through the center of gravity, means does not passing through the centroid. Here whatever the load is passing away from the center. Third type of connection is moment resisting connection, is nothing but the joint subjected to moment beam and column. Then second classification based on the type of force. First type of force, that is shear connection, is dealing with lap and butt joint. We had studied in the previous lecture what is meant by lap and butt joint. Then second type of under type of force is tension connection. Means for example it is a hanger connection. Third type is combined shear and tension. You might have seen that in case of electric tower. So whatever the tower is may consist of different horizontal and vertical members joined by the diagonal element or member known as bracing. So it is a combination of shear member as well as tension member. Third type of bolted connection based on the force of mechanism. First type of mechanism is bearing type. Is nothing but the bolt bear against the hole to transfer the force. And last type is friction type, that is force is transferred by the friction. Then next point, to understand the what are the different types of bolts. So first type of bolt is unfinished, or that bolt is also called as black bolt. So this unfinished bolt which may consist of bearing type of bolt, or it is also commonly known as a ordinary or common or rough bolt. Black bolt or unfinished bolt made from the mild steel rod with square or hexagonal type of head cross section. Then this type of bolt normally in diameter of 16 mm, 20 mm, 24 mm, 30 mm and 36 mm in size are commonly used on the site. If you go through this figure, so this whole assembly of this bolt is go through this cross section. This is a hexagonal head where this portion is known as a shank portion, and where this section is called as a threaded section. And here this small circular strip is placed in the bolt assembly known as a washers, that is called as a steel washers, which distribute the clamping pressure over the bolt, or this portion is called as a head, where this steel washer, from the steel washer to this threading section known as a length L, where this is called as a diameter of the bolt is denoted by the D. Then second type of bolt is finish or turn bolt. Is nothing but the shank of this bolt is formed from the hexagonal rod known as a finish type of bolt or turn bolt. Then third type of bolt is available commonly in the market, that is high strength of bolt, because it is made from the carbon heat treated steel and from alloy steel. It also has high strength 2 or more times than that of ordinary bolt or common bolt or rough bolt. It available in size 16 mm to 36 mm in size. Then dealing with the type of bolt, here we have to understood what is meant by grade of steel or grade of bolt is there. First grade of bolt is grade 4.6 of M20 mm in size, where 20 mm is diameter of bolt. Then with the help of this 20 mm diameter of bolt of grade 4.6, here we have to find out the ultimate tensile strength. It can be found out where 4.6, so where first digit 4 multiply 100, so FUB, that is ultimate tensile strength of bolt, is equal to 400 Newton per mm square or MPa. Then with the help of this 4.6 grade of bolt, find out the yield stress is nothing but the 400, that is FUB, ultimate tensile strength of bolt, multiply whatever the 0.6, if you multiply with the FUB, find out the value of yield stress of that bolt is 240 Newton per mm square. So this is the table of this grade of steel as per, that is 3.6, 4.6, 4.8, 5.6, 5.8, and FUV, ultimate tensile strength of bolt, and yield stress of that bolt, FYB. So this particular chart or table is given. These values are approximately. Then what are the advantages of bolt? So first advantages, so it is very easy to connection, can be made very quickly, and it can be erected speedily of this structure on the site. Then the type of bolt under this advantages is less skilled persons are required for making these connections. Then less equipment or accessories are required, and finally the cost of this bolt is very less. Coming to next point, the type of bolted joints. There are mainly two types of bolted joints are there. First is lap joint and second one is butt joint. So first try to understand what is meant by lap joint. Lap joint is defined as, or is nothing but, there are two members are overlap or connected together, known as lap joint. If you go through the first figure, so this is first plate or member is there up to the dotted line. Then second member from right to left up to this dark line. When it is overlap over the another, so which is connected by the this bolted connection, means if you see from the side view, so one plate is placed over the another plate. So here whatever the load is applying, it is tensile. So this type of connections or bolted joint are known as a single bolted joint, where with the help of just see the second figure. So again here two plates or members or element placed over the another. Again see the side view, but the connections were made, it is double bolted connection, means connection assembly is placed in two columns. So it is called as a double bolted type of joint. Next type of joint is butt joint. Butt joint is nothing but the two members to be connected are placed end to end, means here if you see the figure, so from this left up to the this line up to the dark line, this first plate is there, and from right hand side to this dark line second figure is there, and which is placed end to end, means if you see the side view, is the first connections of this plate which is placed end to end or face to face, and which is joined by the cover plate, and here the bolted connection which is made like this. So this assembly is called as a butt joint assembly, means butt joint is nothing but the to place the member face to face or end to end, and lap joint is nothing but the to place the member overlap position. Here whatever the assembly we have seen, that is single cover single bolted connections, because here why it is called as a single cover, because here single plate which is placed over the this end to end assembly. Now go through the second figure of this butt joint. So again this member are placed end to end and plate is placed over the above and joined by the double bolted connection, so known as a single cover double bolted joint. Then additional plates are required on either or one side, known as a cover plate, because already we have studied cover plate may required on either side or both side, that is called as a known as cover plate. Then if you go through this figure, so these connections are called as a butt joint. But plates are placed above and below these connections, so it is called as a double cover single bolted connections, and here double cover double bolted connections. Then coming to next point, failure of bolted joints. So these joints may fail in different criteria or different conditions, so they have some listed below. First type of failure is known as a shear failure of this bolt. So what is meant by shear failure? If you go through this first figure, shear failure is nothing but the maximum factor shear force in bolt may exceed the nominal shear capacity of the bolt, like this. Means if you go through the first figure of this shear, means two plates are placed like this, and whatever the tensile force is acting towards right, again tensile force is acting towards left. If such kind of situation may arise, so bolt may fail like this, because here shearing plane is 1. If two plates are placed one above the another, so shearing will be taking place in number of plane is 1. Then double shear means here two plates is connected by the intermediate plate, so here number of shearing planes are, that is already we have studied. So how we are going to find out the number of shear planes or like that? That is here number of 3 plates are placed and which is connected by this bolt. Then bolt may fail in single or double shear. Either may fail in single shear or double shear, depending upon the situation or type of assembly which we had used. Next type of failure of this bolted joint is bearing failure of plates. What is meant by bearing failure? When member is subjected to shear force and slip takes place and bolts comes in contact with the plates, so like this. Means here little bit amount of the bolt may fail like this, known as a crushing. So whatever this assembly known as a bolted failure of joint in bearing of plate or and bolt. Then third type of failure known as a bearing failure of bolt. Bolt may crush around half circumference of that respective diameter of bolt, or it does not occurs in practice except when plates are made of high strength of steel. Fourth type of failure is tension failure of bolt. Means tension failure of bolt is nothing but the bolt is subjected to tension, may fail at the stress area. Fifth one is failure, that is tension or tearing of plate. It occurs when bolts are stronger than plate. Means the strength of the plate is lesser, means it occurs when bolt are stronger than plate. Last type of failure is block shear failure. If the bolts are placed at a lesser end distance that required causing plate to shear out and block of material within that bolted area which breaks it. So these are the few failures of bolted joints. Next is specification for bolted joints. For design of bolted connection, some criteria are needed as per the IS 800 2007. So first criteria or specification is known as pitch of the bolt is denoted by or designated by the capital P as per the IS 800 2007 clause number 10.2.2 of page number 73. So pitch distance is nothing but the, for example, these two bolts are placed in row wise. Here one bolt is there, second one is. So center to center distance between the any two bolts known as a pitch. So it can be defined as the distance between center of two consecutive bolts in row. We can call as in a row only, and measure along the direction of force or load. Means pitch distance is always measured in the direction of load or force. So this pitch shall not be less than 2.5 times the diameter of the bolt. Under this specification, pitch P shall not exceed 16 times of thickness of plate or 200 mm, whichever is lesser, and it is applicable to tension member. Again, P shall not exceed 12 T or 200 mm, whichever is less, for compression member. And last criteria for this pitch, P shall not exceed 4.5 times of diameter of the bolt for butt joint. So it is clear that what is meant by pitch. Pitch is nothing but the center to center distance between two consecutive bolts in rows, and it is measured along the direction of force or load. Then second thing is gauge distance is denoted by the small g. It is defined as the center to center distance between of two consecutive bolts in adjacent rows and measure perpendicular to the force or load. Means direction of force in horizontal manner is acting in horizontally or longitudinal. So gauge distance will be calculated or measure perpendicular to that respective force. So again, gauge distance is nothing but it is a center to center distance between two consecutive bolts of adjacent rows and measure perpendicular to the direction of load. If you measure like this, then gauge distance shall not exceed 100 plus 40 or 200 mm, whichever is less. Next criteria, gauge distance G shall not less than 2.5 times of diameter of hole DH. Third specification known as a edge distance as per IS 800 2007 clause number 10.2.4.2 page number 74. So edge distance, it is the distance of center of bolt from the adjacent edge of plate. See the previous figure. So known as a end distance, means this plate up to the end, so in longitudinal direction, known as a end distance, like this. So end distance as well as edge distance is same. So this is your edge distance denoted by the E and end distance denoted by the E dash. Means end distance is measured horizontally and denoted by E dash. Edge distance measured vertically or perpendicular to the direction of load denoted by E. So under this edge distance criteria, E shall not be less than 1.7 times diameter of hole. If this is made by using hand flame edge, means E shall not be less than 1.7 times the diameter of hole, that is T0. Again, E shall not be less than 1.5 times the diameter of hole if it is made from machine flame edge. Then E shall not exceed 12 times of T into epsilon, that is where T is the thickness of thinner plate. If two plates are used, one is 6 mm and next one is 8 mm. So out of that, thickness of thinner plate is 6 mm. We can take this value into our calculation. Last criteria under this end distance or edge distance is E shall not exceed 40 plus 40. Again, end distance is denoted by E dash, same as above. Means all these criteria are same related to end as well as edge distance. Then coming to next point, bearing type of connection. Under this, it is assumed that the load to be transferred if larger than frictional resistance and caused by tightening the bolt. Consequently, members slip a little over each other and placing the bolt in shear and bearing. Next, number of bolts required is equal to the load divided by strength of one bolt. Means load divided by strength of one bolt. We can find out by the number of bolts. For example, we are going to find out the number of bolts is equal to the numerator is load divided by denominator is strength of bolt 1 or 1 bolt strength. Generally, a minimum 2 or 3 bolts are required even if 1 bolt is required. If by the calculation 1 bolt we got the answer, but as per the IS code we are going to provide the minimum 2 or bolts as per the assembly. Then strength of bolt multiply with the number of bolts in joints gives the strength of joint on the basis of bolts. However, the failure of joint can be in bolt or in plate. In bearing type of connection, first point is dealing with shearing strength of bolt. Means these are the some design criteria, design procedure for this type of connections. So first here we are going to check the bolt in shearing. The first criteria is shearing strength of bolt as per the IS code, Indian standard IS 800/2007, clause number 10.3.3 of page number 75. The resistance of bolt to shear is called as nominal capacity of the bolt in shear and is denoted by the V suffix NSB, where N is nominal capacity, B stands for bolt and A stands for shearing. It depends upon the ultimate strength of the bolt, that is FUB, and number of shear planes, that is N. The nominal shank area is designated or nominated by ASB and shear area of bolt at measure or consider only in threaded section, that is A and B, in each shear planes. Then what are the different design steps are required for this to check shearing? The nominal shear capacity of the bolt is denoted by VNSB is equal to F suffix UB into bracket NN into ANB plus NS into ASB whole divided by under root 3, where NN is number of shear planes with thread, where suffix N indicates which corresponding to threaded section, where suffix S is corresponding to plane section or shank area, where we know that what is NN. Next is NS. NS is number of shear planes without thread, means is known as a plane portion, known as a shank area or plane area. Under this, here we are going to check if the length of joint, that is distance between first row and last row of bolt, if it is exceed 15 times of diameter of bolt, where D is the diameter of bolt, then reduction factor beta suffix LJ is multiplied. According to IS 800 2007 of criteria 10.3.3.1 of page number 75. Here reduction factor beta LJ, here we are going to multiply. So beta LJ is equal to 1.075 minus L suffix J divided by 200 times of diameter of bolt, that is D. Then nominal shank area is denoted by A suffix SB, is calculated by using the equation, that is pi by 4 D square. And how to calculate ANB? ANB is equal to 0.78 times of ASB, where ASB is pi by 4 D square. Then under this section, if the grip length, that is depth, we can call it as a depth, that is LG, exceeds 5 times diameter of bolt, the shear capacity shall be reduced to as per IS 800 2007 10.3.3.2 page number 75. Beta LG is equal to 8 times diameter of bolt divided by thrice time diameter of bolt, that is 3D plus LG. So beta LG shall not exceed beta LJ, beta LJ, and LG shall not exceed 8 times diameter of bolt in any case. So these things we are going to keep in your mind. So beta LG shall not exceed beta LJ. Then C type or C criteria, if packing plates in excess of 6 mm are used, the shear capacity should be reduced to according to IS 800 2007 criteria or clause number 10.3.3.3 of page number 75. So for packing plate, so beta suffix PK, PK stands for packing plate. So beta PK is equal to 1 minus 0.0125 times of T suffix PK, where T is thickness of that packing plate. Then coming to next criteria, under this shearing strength of bolt, that is T, bolt subjected to combined shear or tension, means shear as well as tension. According to IS 800 2007 criteria 10.3.6 of page number 76. So we have with us one equation, that is VB divided by VDB whole bracket square plus TB divided by TDB whole bracket square is less than equal to 1, where what is meant by VB. VB is also denoted by VSB, that is factor shear force acting on the bolt. VDB is design shear capacity as per the IS 10.3.2 of IS 800/2007, where TB is equal to factor tensile force acting on the bolt and TDB is design tension capacity, that is as per the IS 10.3.5. Then second criteria under the bearing type of connection is bearing strength of bolt is given as per the IS 800/2007, clause number 10.3.4, page number 75. Nominal bearing strength of bolt is denoted by V suffix NPB is equal to 2.5 times of KB into DT D into T into FU, where KB is a constant, we can calculate it as a smaller of 4 criteria. So first criteria under this constant KB is to check whether E divided by thrice of D0, where E is a edge distance divided by 3 into diameter of hole, that is D0 is nothing but the diameter of hole. Second criteria, P divided by thrice of D0, where P is pitch divided by 3 into diameter of hole minus 0.25. Third criteria, FUB divided by FU, where FUB is ultimate tensile strength of bolt divided by ultimate tensile strength, means 400 divided by 410 Newton per mm square is a ratio. And the fourth criteria is 1. Out of these 4 criteria, whichever value is lesser, that we are going to keep in our equation as a smaller constant, that is KB, where we know that D0 is diameter of hole, D is diameter of bolt, E is, and P is a edge distance and pitch distance, where T is the thickness of the connected plate in mm. FUB and FU is ultimate tensile strength of bolt and plate respectively. Then final equation to determine bearing strength of that bolt is denoted by V suffix PB. We know that Vn PB is with us divided by gamma MB. So after substituting the value of Vn PB, that is 2.5 KB into dt into Fu divided by gamma MB. Gamma MB is partial safety factor for bolt. Then third type of strength we have to check, that is tensile strength of bolt as per IS 800/2007, clause number 10.3.5, page number 76. Then check the nominal tensile capacity of the bolt in tension, that is denoted by TNB is equal to 0.9 into FUB into ANB, which is less than F suffix YB into ASB into gamma MB divided by gamma M0. If TDB less than equal to whatever the nominal capacity TNB, which is calculated from the above equation, divided by gamma MB, partial safety factor for that bolt, which is also equal to check 0.9 times of FUB into ANB divided by gamma MB. Thank you.